Today we're going to be doing full body pull, just a little bit of hamstring work at the beginning with some deadlifts. After I do my jump ropes, I like to take my pre-workout. Right now we're using Bucked Up white gummy bear from the Costco edition, which they should definitely bring back. They give you this and a giant thing of fucking creatine for like 50 bucks. I'm gonna do 2 scoops today because it's a little bit later in the evening, you know, a little bit after 5 o'clock. And show you the rest of what I do for warming up here in a little bit. Hey y'all, today I'm at Griffith Park getting in a pull session, no fancy gym, just fresh air and some basics. The Bronco's still in the shop, but the training doesn't stop. The whole point, you know, is you don't need a perfect setup, just get out there and do the work. So right here, I'm gonna do 3 minutes worth of jump ropes as my initial warm up, just to increase that heart rate, increase that blood flow. Here I'm gonna do some band work just to really warm up my back. Today, we're gonna start off with some deadlifts, going to rows, T-bar rows, some superset workouts. And after the initial warm-ups here, I did 2 rounds of that band work. I'm going to start doing my warm-up sets for deadlift. So as I get heavier in weight for my warm-up sets, I'm going to start matching the same number of reps that I'm going to do for my working sets. So I'm going to do 3 sets of 5 for my working sets. So I'm going to start doing 5 reps with the heavier weight here for my warm-up. Remember that when you're warming up, you really want to focus on form and on your breath work. I really like to practice the Valsalva technique, where take a big inhale in and then hold that in on the eccentric part, which in deadlifts would be coming down to the bottom, and then a big exhale as I'm standing up nice and tall. As I get into my later sets here, I put on some wrist wraps just so I can save my grip for the later parts of the workout. Here I'm using Tough Wraps. It has a hook at the bottom. I got these recently. They're pretty nice. I will say that they do put a lot of strain on your wrists, so if you have bad wrists, I wouldn't suggest them for you. But they're definitely gonna help me keep my grip strength for the rest of the workout. You know, and it also carries into real world strength as well. Just picking shit up every day, you know, you never know when or where or how somebody might fall over. You know, if it's your grandmother and she's overweight, maybe you need to help her get up. Deadlifts is a great way to do that. Or if you're, you know, just wanna mog on people in the park and show them that you can lift more than them, that's also a great exercise as well. So for my last set of deadlifts, I decided to do some straight leg deficit deadlifts. So here you can see I stack some plates just so I can really get a full range of motion, reaching all the way down to my toes. And I get a deep stretch in my hamstrings when I do this, and it just feels really nice. I know a lot of people caution against this because of the stress and strain it puts on your lower spine, but you know, like everything in life, if you don't use it, you lose it. And if you watch those videos where dead pig spines are snapping in half, that's not the same as, you know, your spine inside of your body. So right here is a wide grip row. This is just working on the upper back. I like to change my grips and hand placements for rows, also just on pull days in general, just to activate different parts of my back. Here is a closer grip, but still overhand grip row. I'm pulling this more towards my sternum. And then up next, I'm gonna do an underhand grip. I'm pulling this towards my belly button. Also see how I'm punching my hands out in front of me a bit. It's helping me create better engagement in my lats when I do that. Also, I took my shoes off You know, just because it's nice being able to train outside. You can ground and just kind of like be in nature. It's a lot less distracting. I'm not constantly staring at myself in the mirror or catching myself looking at other people or trying to see what machine is open. It's just really nice. That's why I love training outside. It's hard, it's simple, and you can hide from work. And it's just gym therapy for me. Here I'm doing some T-bar rows. I did 3 sets of 12. This is a really great way also to tap into those lats. And you know, this is what the Bronco Gym is all about. It's about being adaptable, training anywhere, and building strength. So right here, I got a modified lat pull down cable that I bought off of Amazon and attached to my Verse Agile squat rack. And I'm supersetting these with some lawnmower pulls. It's just gonna be 3 sets of as many reps as possible. Yeah, nothing fancy today. You know, just a typical pull day, just really trying to target all parts of the back. But yeah, if you're into outdoor training, real strength, and building a crew along the way, hit subscribe, you know, join the Bronco Gym. Also, if you live in LA and you ever want to come work out at Griffith Park, let me know. I'm just documenting my journey as a vet, as a certified personal trainer and kinesiology student, trying to, you know, help people, show you how to train smarter, live longer. You can also, like I was saying, always change up your grip. If you are plateauing as far as your back workouts, that's the #1 thing you can do to shock the muscles and just work on different mind-muscle connections for your back as well. After this, I'm gonna get into some shrugs that I'm going to superset with some rear delt flies. And then after that, I'm gonna get into some bicep work. I'm gonna post some videos later, kind of going over the form of the rows and deadlifts I was doing today, just to give y'all a little bit more detail about that. But here where I'm doing shrugs, I'm wearing a belt just because I like to make sure that I have really nice posture when doing this. You don't have to do it, that's just a personal preference. And I did 3 sets of 12 for these. I did more bicep work than I recorded here. I forgot to record the easy bar curls that I did, but what I do have coming up is I did some standing dumbbell curls, 3 sets of 15, and then I also included some standing cable bicep curls, 3 sets of 12, and then 2 sets of 15 for some hammer curls. And then at the very end, I do a nice little stretch session, just because that's the most important thing you can do. Aside from getting your protein intake after a workout, you also need to stretch. And I know most of you are not doing that, but it's one of the most beneficial things you can do for your body. But yeah, thanks for watching my first video. Like, subscribe, and comment, and you know, stay with it. The most important thing you can do every day is consistency and be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your day.